what is up, guys? This is Solanum-Heart, Tristan here, and
The Jessicola.
we are going to talk about our opinions on Call of Duty Black Ops Modern Warfare 2. Not a bit about the Modern Warfare part.
Black Ops Modern Warfare 2.
Black Ops Warfare 2. There you go. That's a mix of the two. Okay, so what is your opinion on lag and lag compensation in Black Ops?
So lag compensation first came along in Black Ops. Obviously, we saw it on a smaller scale there, and then Modern Warfare 3 it kind of built up into the area that it's in now with Black Ops 2. I don't really want to get scientific on all the stuff that happens with lag compensation, but basically what happens is in Call of Duty there's a hitbox for each player. And when you're, shooting a gun and stuff like that, obviously you're aiming for the player. But what lag compensation does when you're on the wrong side of it is it actually moves that hitbox behind the player. And basically that's where the whole I got shot through a wall thing comes from, because when you jump around a corner, the person can shoot still behind you and still get hit markers on your hitbox, and that's what causes you to get killed. So while it might seem like you're behind the wall, you're actually still behind behind where your steps are. So that's where the whole problem with lag compensation comes in. It's just something that I think needs to either get fixed or just generally tweaked so that it doesn't do that kind of a thing. And I think that lag just kind of plays a big factor into that whole lag compensation thing.
Well, it's I don't know if this is good wall penetration with bullets, or if it's lag compensation, or both, right? But when people run by walls, I just keep shooting because I know I'm gonna hit them regardless.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's either or both, but I have noticed that. I'm pretty sure you guys have too. And
Yeah.
I think lag is a problem, definitely, if you're on the wrong side of it. You can be on the great side of it, and you'll know pretty much after you shoot one guy, if all you're getting all the hit markers you were shooting, then you're good.
Yeah.
If you weren't, then, and he's killing you often, or he, she, I'm not going to be sexist here, but then yeah. So
yeah, exactly. But even the 3-bar in this game seems awful compared to what it used to be like. So there's just something about a 4-bar in this game that just makes you so much superior to everything else, and that's where the lag problem comes in. So
yeah, basically, it's like playing with bad connection on All or Nothing in Modern Warfare 3. Think about that. It sucks.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If you're on the wrong side of it, though. If you're on the good side of it, then you'll be having a great time. And I would like it to search by connection, not skill. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be part of fixing the problem, right?
Well, definitely it would be. There's a lot of the time where you'll see someone that's really good searches for a lobby with a party, and all of a sudden you're put into a lobby where people have 2 KDs. It doesn't matter if they're from France or frickin' Indonesia, they're still gonna get in your lobby because they have the same KD because it searches by skill, and that's where the problem comes in.
And
so.
I think League play should be the place for that, because that's a new thing. If you guys don't know what that is in Black Ops 2, it's where you get ranked, and then you play with players, a similar skill level. So that should be where the kind of
the skill
level
searching comes in. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then in regular it should just be connection, like it mostly has been.
Well, it's supposed to, it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a frustrating experience where you break 6 controllers over it. So,
I usually just break 5. 5 is
really?
Then
Okay.
I call being done. But yeah. So you were gonna talk about a lot of noise.
A lot of noise. Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is about the game, but when I first got it, I turned the levels down to what I thought would be, somewhat, an easier level to handle with all the noise that happens. But for some reason, whatever it is about the game, I've just noticed that there's a lot of noise in the background, whether it be the explosions, the cars blowing up, all that kind of stuff just adds on top of one another, and it turns into this big ass, I don't even know what it sounds like.
It's just a white noise. No.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very loud.
And reloading and everything. I know what you
exactly.
mean.
And then all the guns are shooting off. It just seems like there's a lot of noise, and what that does is, like you mentioned, it gets rid of all the footsteps. And you eventually can't hear footsteps properly. And that's where the problem, again, arises with a lot of the first Call of Duty players. They were all like, oh, I love how I can sound whore in Modern Warfare 2 and all that. And then Black Ops got rid of that, and everybody was upset with it. And then Modern Warfare 3 brought it back, and now it's gone again. So
yeah, it's just kind of this, stupid kind of pattern.
Exactly.
And I don't like adjusting that, because I got my headset for around a little bit after Modern Warfare 3, and I loved it. I would go into free-for-all with dead silence and just kill everybody, because I know exactly where they're coming from, unless they had Dead Silence 2, which is pretty rare. You'd be surprised. And in Black Ops 2, even if nothing is going on, you can't hear footsteps worth crap.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really, really hard to hear them.
Yeah, exactly.
So dead silence is pretty much useless. Awareness doesn't seem to have much effect. I tried rocking both. It didn't help me much in free for
Yeah,
all.
engineer doesn't seem useful either that much. It
No,
seems like
with
it's
the
been
black
buffed.
hat. With the black
With
hat,
a
it is
black cat it is,
magnificent.
but I'm just saying like in general, engineer just seems to be buffed down a whole bunch
How do you
for
figure?
whatever reason.
Because you can't like. There's certain things that like after a certain distance you just can't really see the red.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just there's just a whole bunch of just seems like they buffed down a whole bunch of perks. And why they got rid of sleight of hand and marathon still I don't understand,
Their
but they
attachments
kept.
though.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
marathon
Exactly.
is
But either
is
way,
so
even if you count dual mags or fast mags as sleight of hand, it still doesn't count because you're only getting one where it's sleight of hand, and then you still have to load another one that's normal speed. I don't know. I didn't think sleight of hand was a problem, and they got rid of that, and that was just another downside that I saw basically off of that. I still don't understand why marathons were moved.
like
I mean, Battlefield has
no,
Battlefield's
dude. They
supposed to be the
have
more
extreme
realistic
conditioning.
game, and Battlefield has well, yeah, extreme conditioning, but Battlefield has something where you're allowed to unlimitedly sprint, and Battlefield is supposed to be the more realistic game than COD. So I don't know if they're trying
Yeah,
to
but with
make it seem like
120
it's
pounds
realistic.
of like
Then,
army stuff. Anyway, well, whatever.
yeah.
So like I feel that on every class, the most common perk I pick in tier 1 is hardline. Absolutely, because these score streaks are set pretty high. And if you play the objective, it's still doable, but it's still pretty difficult to get those kill streaks. So I like always using hardline on all my classes because score streaks are difficult to get.
Yeah, and one of the more easier game modes that I've noticed so far for those of you that don't use hardline is actually kill confirmed because you get the points for the kill as well as the defend on the tag or either the capture on the tag. So you get all of those little things. Even if you don't want to capture tags, you can defend tags and get points off of it. So I mean, there's a lot of ways around getting a higher score streak than just using hardline. But I haven't used hardline that much, so I don't know that much about it and how much it reduces stuff like that.
I
But
think it's 20% because it.
whatever it is, yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't used it too much, so I wouldn't know. But
Wait.
basically, the other thing that I've noticed a lot of people using is obviously Ghost too, instead of Hardline. Or if they're using Perk 1 Greed, then who knows what they could be using. They could be using Ghost and something else. So, I mean, personally, I run Ghost and Hardline on a lot of my classes, but that's just me. So,
Yeah, it reduces it by 20%. I think I heard T Martin make a video before the game came out talking about it, and I just did it mathematically because I've noticed that you get a UAV at about 280, 290 points
okay, yeah.
with hardline, and it's usually 360, and calculated out, that's correct.
Yeah, it's about 20%, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
that's
actually,
pretty useful.
I said Ghost and Hardline. It's actually Ghost and Lightweight that I use. That's my fault.
Oh, Ghost and Lightweight. Yeah, I don't usually rock Lightweight unless it's on certain classes or shotguns.
Yeah, well, I only run it, well, like by Perk 1 Greed, I usually only run it on an SMG or a shotgun class.
Yeah, that's what
Just so I can get hardline and the other thing. And the other perk that I found really helpful was Scavenger, for those of you that haven't used that. It's really good in this game too, so.
Yeah, like I'm not very good at rushing, so when I use, like, I don't usually use Scavenger, one, because I don't unlock it very much, I haven't used a token on it yet, and that I tend to die before I run out of ammo. So it's not really, like, an issue, but it depends on what playstyle you have.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's really helpful for assault rifles, if you're kind of staying on the defense.
Yeah, and with rushing with SMGs as well, yes, yeah.
If
If
you
it
don't
is
get
like
killed.
if you expect not to die too, and you're gonna use a lot of bullets and you're rushing and hip fire and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, so I feel like you always need to rock Ghosts because everybody's using the UAVs because they're low and they help you get all your other score streaks and they're really, really easy to get.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah.
So like,
I use Ghost. I used a permanent unlock on Ghost off my first prestige. So.
yeah, like I feel like I have to use Ghost because like I usually don't even use Suppressor because I'm always on the UAV anyway. You know? Yeah, so
exactly.
I just, rock without a suppressor, which is both good and bad because, it kills the enemies faster. So there's that. So, you don't really like the challenges to unlock camos, like that you have to, like, go
The only
bare
well,
bones and stuff.
it's not all the challenges. Like I like the whole thing where they went back to headshots and stuff like that. I think that it kind of means something to have camos now if you actually are good with the gun, whereas instead of just buying them, like just straight up buying them. But the only two problems that I really saw with the camos was the one where it required no perks on the class and then no attachments on the gun. Like they're doable. It's just kind of a grinding thing. I just don't like doing stuff like that just because I have to. It
Yeah,
seems like it's I don't know.
They're challenges. You kind of have to go out of your way to do them, which is both good and bad. It depends, what your take is on it. I'm
Yeah.
not going to really argue either case here.
Again, it means something to have the camos, but yeah, I don't know. That's just one area where I would have just kept it strictly headshots or one-shot kills.
What I think they really did right, though, is they took away COD points. Now, I know they're fun for wager matches and stuff, but I like earning things, okay? I don't like getting a gun, buying every attachment for it, and that's it. That's it. Like buying every camo for it, because you didn't have to work for it.
And that's what the problem with Ghost and Second Chance was in the first Black Ops. As soon as you got to level 4, you could immediately, well, obviously not really because you didn't get that many COD points off the start, but as soon as you had enough,
right away.
As soon as you had it, you could buy them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like unlocking things more. It's more like, progressive. Also like tokens; those are good. But one thing I was going to talk about is they don't seem to care enough about PS3 side of things.
Well, there was that whole freezing issue off the start where I actually saw a video of one guy's PS3 who actually broke it off of all the freezing.
I heard of that. Yeah.
The Blu-ray drive on it actually broke because of how much the game froze, and you had to eject
repair
and eject it and all that. Yeah, it was just
That would really suck. Like, I would talk to Sony and them about it. Like, your PS3 broke for no reason. But like they just don't really seem to they seem to fix everything on Xbox first.
Yeah, well, and then the one problem that they had on Xbox that we didn't have, but now we do. I don't know if anybody else has run into it. I've run into it while playing zombies and in multiplayer as well. It happens when there's a lot of noise going on in the game, and obviously, as I mentioned, there is a lot of noise in the game to start off with. So basically, what happens is all the noise comes on, and then all of a sudden you'll hear like this weird ass fluttering sound, and it takes over your sound, and then you end up losing game sound altogether. Xbox had it. They fixed it on Xbox, and when they fixed it on Xbox, they released a patch for PS3, which actually brought the problem to us.
Oh my god! Wow.
So that was that was something that was a problem.
Yeah, I don't know if I've noticed that. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it's just you have to be in the right place at the right time where there's just too much noise and it takes over. So.
Yeah, so dude, some things I really like are the 10-point system. There's so much customizability.
10-point system is very good.
I want someone to calculate it out. Like, I don't know how you would, like, this gun to the whatever gun's power, and then this perk to the perk's power. Like, it would be insane. Like,
exactly. 10-point system was brilliant as well because of the I actually don't know what they're called. What are they called at the bottom? Like the wild cards. The perk ones and all that, how you could get wild cards and then erase. If you didn't have enough room, you could get rid of tactical grenades and all that kind of stuff, or get rid of attachments on your secondary, all that, or you could get rid of your secondary altogether if you wanted to.
Yeah,
and you
could still beef up your primary. Like,
yeah, and you could run around with 2 perks or 4 perks, or well, actually you could run around with 4 perks or 1.5 perks.
6.
Yeah, exactly.
6, and then like a knife or something.
Yeah, you could run around with a lot of stuff. That's the other thing I liked. They added combat knife too. When you don't have a secondary equipped, I like that. That was a very smart idea.
Yeah, I thought at first that they removed panic knifing, but no.
Yeah, well, that was what everybody thought too. So.
Well, and Right Boy's making this video, right? And they knifed and got a hit marker, so I'm like, oh, great. Panic knifing isn't going to do 100 damage, but it still does. It still does. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. But the other thing I noticed is that knifing actually. Which one's terrible? Sorry.
Knifing, just in general.
Yeah, well, that's actually what I was about to say. Yeah, knifing is actually awful.
Which is both good and bad. Depends on what kind of player you are.
I'm gonna give you guys all a little bit of a tip here. Never knife unless you're the enemy, and you're never gonna be the enemy, so never knife.
Yeah.
So
seriously, like it's worked for me once. Like I was on a kill streak and I was like, no, and I had to knife him because I didn't.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Like the only way I think you could ever get knife kills is either through ballistic knife, which is obviously another secondary you have to add on. But the normal knife from straight primary, just knifing from primary, never really works for me.
But like one of my favorite things about the 10-point system is what I did in Modern Warfare 3, right? I made a full custom class, and there were 10 things. You could have up to 10 things, so I thought that was interesting, right? So I rarely used tactical grenades sometimes. I rarely used lethals, depending on what game type,
exactly.
Right? And so being able to eliminate those and use them towards an attachment or something I need or want for a specific gun or class is really awesome. I like it. And I also like score streaks, except for some of them are really hard to get.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are hard to get. I've actually gotten, I think I'm at 5 sets of dogs now.
I have never set something over the stealth chopper, but I have gotten on a 19 kill streak.
Yeah, I think I've had 5 sets of dogs now, which is a lot actually for me, especially especially in like Black Ops style. Like I didn't really get that many dogs in Black Ops, but for whatever reason, whatever it is, I think it might be the kill confirm thing that I mentioned. But I've just noticed that some of the score streaks are easier to get in particular games. It's kind of right place, right time, right lobby, right, that kind of situation.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of lets you get those higher kill streaks. But yeah, I would say that they are definitely a little bit harder to get now, especially in this game. So.
What I like is there is no reason not to prestige. Like in Modern Warfare 3, you could
Yep.
just get to level 80 or whatever, yeah, 80, and get everything, and then that you could just call it good. But in this game, you can only unlock like half the stuff.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
you prestige, and then doesn't reset any of your challenges, your camos, or anything, or even
And
your
you
gun
keep, yeah, you
attachments.
keep your attachments, you keep all that until you unlock the gun again, obviously.
Yeah.
But you keep all that stuff, and that's really cool. I like that they did that. Obviously, the weapon prestiging is something new as well. There's a whole bunch of other
You're
stuff that
not
goes
too
on with
fond
that.
of it, but I am.
Yeah, well, it's not that I'm not fond of it. I do it because I like my emblem and clan tag on it, but there's just for whatever reason I've noticed that a lot of people are just like, well, what's the point? I lose all my attachments when I prestige my gun. I don't want to work
EXP.
at it again. And
You
I'm
don't
just like,
lose camos though.
I don't know. I think they could have done it a little bit better to appeal to the whole community, but yeah.
Yeah, it depends on if you're like a ranker upper.
Yeah, exactly. And if you
And,
want the XP from it, yeah. But
yeah, and
depends.
one of my favorite things, they took away death streaks. They're gone.
Yeah,
Infinity
well,
Ward, if you bring them back, I will be irritated.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't even know what they were thinking, even putting in death streaks again. But I'm also happy to see that nobody in this game has dropped on their ass and scooted over to me with a pistol. I really like that.
Yeah, so
that's
quick scoping is great because they
Yeah.
don't do crap like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You
And-
can snipe someone and they don't drop down into.
Oh, also customizability in combat training. So there's way more customizability in it now. So you can take away their riot shields. You can take away their rocket launchers, which they use, and it's really irritating. So you can make them the perfect quickscope dummies. You take
Exactly.
away all this stuff, right? And so you guarantee you can make their health even 90% if you wanted to. So they die every hit, one time. And
Yeah, and speaking of customability again, or customization again, actually, there's also the ability to either put a camo on your knife and on your secondary, which again I thought was just kind of a more
and the like hidden diamond camo, like, you know, like maybe
exactly,
they're
and
hiding
they
other
they
stuff
added
we
in a
don't
whole
know.
bunch of stuff that makes your class unique from someone else's,
Yeah.
and I think that that's what's really important.
So overall, I think this is a great game compared to Modern Warfare 3. I'm not saying I didn't like Modern Warfare 3. It was a decent game, but there's no Moabs in it. But also,
I will go out on a
that-
limb and say I didn't like Modern Warfare 3.
I didn't like Modern Warfare 3 for some reasons because Moabs would cause everybody to camp, including me, right? And I don't like campers. I really don't. But overall, I think it's a great game. What do you think? I think it's a huge step forward.
I think this game has a lot of potential. I think there's a lot of stuff they still have to fix.
But it's new.
But I think it has a lot of potential to be one of the best CODs that's come out to date, to be honest.
Yeah, and they should be getting better every year. They should learn from their mistakes, and I like that Treyarch listens to the community more.
That's exactly. That's the other thing I like. I like how David Vonderhaar sits on Twitter and he responds. He doesn't sit behind, the fact
The
that he
stacks
made
of money and be like,
exactly. He doesn't do what Infinity Ward did, where they brought out a game and people were like, "Oh, fix this," and they were like, "No, can't
They're
hear
like,
you. Got
"What? I
20
can't
in my
hear
face.
you."
Got
Yeah,
20."
I got 20 stuffed in my ears, so
Exactly. So it's just I don't know. They're just a much better community developer of a game kind of a thing, and I really appreciate what they do that's why I've always been a Treyarch fan ever since World at War. It's just been one of those things where I've been like, I don't know, Treyarch supporter since then. So
yeah, like this is a huge improvement from Black Ops. Like I'm not just comparing it to Modern Warfare 3, but Black Ops multiplayer, I hated it. I did not like that you just could buy everything, win a lot in wager matches, and you're good to go forever.
yeah, exactly. No,
So-
I agree with that, but I like the multiplayer just about as much as I liked any other COD game. I mean, and the other thing that we've seen from Treyarch again was the whole, obviously diversity throughout their games. World at War was different from Black Ops. Black Ops is definitely different from Black Ops 2.
And
And if you look
Warfare.
at Modern Warfare 3 compared to Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4, it was basically a copy-paste job.
Yeah,
So-
especially from Modern Warfare 2. Like, all the
Exact-
challenges were called the same, like, bling. They
Yeah.
were literally called bling, and then the,
Yeah.
like, perk or whatever wasn't bling.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
And they didn't change any of the player cards or anything like that. They left them.
yeah, Oh,
with the
what I
same
really
names. They might
like
have changed the backgrounds,
is
but they didn't change the
the
names. You know,
titles in Black Ops 2 look fantastic.
they
All
do.
of
Yeah,
them, they
and again,
put time and effort
the
into
challenges
them.
make them difficult and therefore important to achieve and make you, seem either really freaking cool or whatever it is. If you have something that's really hard to get, and that's what I think is important and motivates a lot of the players to do those challenges in the game.
Yes. Do you have any final thoughts? I mean, we didn't talk about zombies, but I'm just gonna say it's great. I like it, except for the fire exploding zombies.
We'll do a zombies video at some point.
But yeah, if you guys want to see that, let us know in the comment
Yeah,
section
for
below.
sure.
And if
Please.
you're watching this on his channel, check out my channel. If you're watching this on my channel, check out his channel. He's cool. He does COD and other interesting commentaries and stuff. He also trolls people, kind of. It's different.
I wouldn't call
on
it trolling,
COD,
but yes, a trolling series, sure. Let's go with that.
just check it out. Just check it out. So, yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Sounds good.